I've started playing this game with myself. How much can I be in the present moment? How many times in a day can I remind myself, genuinely, truly, not just through my mind, but genuinely remind myself and feel the fact that this moment right now is all that exists. And anything in the future and anything in the past, it really doesn't exist right now. Anything in the future is only and only my imagination. It has not happened yet. Not a single moment of the future that we constantly think or overthink or stress about, not a single one of those moments has happened yet. And it is all just your imagination. It's not real. Anything that you have worried about or stressed about in the future, can you genuinely acknowledge that right now? Can you genuinely maybe just close your eyes right now and just realize if this is the present moment, ahead of it and behind it, it's all a black screen, a complete black screen, or maybe even a black hole or whatever. Do you really realize that? Can you truly for even 1 second acknowledge that fact that it doesn't even exist yet? It's a complete black screen, and anything that you think about in your past, it's gone that moment. I'm not saying that the pain might not be present, but can we just acknowledge for a second that those are memories now? That moment does not exist. All that you have is right now, this moment. And how many times in a day can you genuinely truly remind yourself, especially when you're overthinking, when you're going on these mind loops, when you're overthinking something about the future, or maybe overthinking something that happened in the past, or something that you said to someone, or something that someone else said to you, etc., etc. It's gone. And this one doesn't even exist yet. Because as a person, me, who has suffered from anxiety quite a lot in my life, and even things like panic attacks and stuff, I can confirm that the antidote to anxiety is being present. Because most of the times when we are stressing about something, when we have a lot of worry or maybe even anxiety, it is usually either something in the future that we are worrying about that doesn't even exist yet, but we are making stories about it, or we are worrying about something that happened in the past and we are playing that again and again in our mind and giving ourselves the same pain again and again and again. So it's either something in the future that you're worrying about or something in the past. Now, I'm not saying that things cannot be problematic in the present moment. Maybe they are. And that's why I said that most of the times, I didn't say all of the time, most of the times when we are having anxiety, it's something about the future or the past. Sometimes it can be the present also. But what I mean to say is, when you bring yourself to the present moment, I am not saying that you bring yourself to the present moment of your physical reality and what is happening right now, which people are there, or what those people are saying to you, or where you're living, or I actually don't mean that. When you bring yourself to the present moment, it's just you in your body right now. That's it. I'm not talking about the other conditions that may exist. For example, let's say for me, there are a lot of outer conditions which have caused me a lot of anxiety in the past few years, and let me tell you, those conditions have not changed yet. They have not. But what has changed is I'm able to bring myself to the present moment. Meaning, I'm able to bring myself into my body right now and be present with my breath. Not with those situations that are there in the present moment very much, but be with just myself. Like, just imagine this little bubble around you. And when I say being present, I only mean that you are being present inside your body, in that bubble, and just with that breath inside and that breath outside. So just try this right now maybe. Just imagine a bubble. Close your eyes. Imagine a bubble around your body. Feel your body. What are you feeling in your body? Maybe it has been some time since you connected with your body and you feel very ungrounded and unconnected. So just take a moment to feel into your body. What are you feeling? Are you feeling something in your heart? Are you feeling something in your gut? Are you feeling something in your legs, or whatever it may be? Just bring your attention to your body. You can maybe even lightly touch your arms or whatever, so that you become aware of this body right now. And then just take one breath in and out. That's it. Open your eyes. That one breath in, just that action of that breath going in and that breath coming out, that is what I mean by present moment. Not the conditions that may or may not be existing. I do want to give one disclaimer, one side note when I'm talking about this point. This, whatever I'm talking about in this video, is not applicable if you're in any abusive situations. I'm not saying that if you are in some abusive situations, you just focus on being present and not changing that situation. No, that is not at all the message. It does not apply to those situations. Cool, I just wanted to give that very important side note. Now, coming back to the topic, this is what you have to do anytime you feel disconnected from your body, from yourself. Anytime you feel like you're going too much into those mind loops and what's gonna happen in the future, and maybe this will happen, that will happen, you're thinking of the worst case scenarios and fears and all that. When that is happening, it is a clear-cut sign that you have lost touch with the present moment, that you have lost touch with your body and you are not connected with your body right now. So I want you to bring this awareness into yourself, maybe multiple times in a day, like I'm doing, maybe even sometimes, or especially when your mind is going loop, especially that time you do. But the reason why I'm saying multiple times in a day, so that you can come into this habit of bringing yourself into the present moment. And when the mind loop happens, you have already practiced quite a lot how to bring yourself to the present moment. So it's always good to do it beforehand rather than only doing your practice when the crisis happens. That is not the point of doing a practice. So bring yourself back to the present moment and remind yourself truly, even close your eyes and imagine a complete black sheet beyond and before this present moment right now, because that is the truth. Those moments that you are imagining in your head, they actually do not exist right now. What this does is that, previously maybe you have a habit of frantically going into your mind and maybe searching for solutions. How can I do this? How can I do that? Okay, what pathways can it exist for me? How can I solve this problem? And instead of looking for a solution, you're actually driving yourself crazy with the anxiety that you're giving yourself. But you are telling yourself the false thing, that you're telling yourself the lie that you are just looking for a solution and you're trying to solve your problem, when instead you're just giving yourself anxiety. You can search for a solution better, much better, when you're able to bring yourself in the present moment and be a little bit more at calm, at peace. That's when you can actually even look for a solution. But when you're not in the present moment, what you do is your mind just goes completely crazy. You give yourself this anxiety about overthinking about this problem and how you can find a solution and this and that. And then you feel like nothing is happening. No matter what you do, you can't find a solution. And then slowly, before you know it, it turns into a panic attack and whatnot. I know I have experienced that quite a lot. I don't know about you. Because can I tell you something really funny? This happens mostly unconsciously, but maybe even consciously, I don't know. A lot of times we start thinking that giving ourselves this worry and stress and anxiety is needed to find a solution. Now hold on. What I mean by this is, by giving ourselves the anxiety, we get this feeling that at least we are doing something to solve the situation. When in reality, the doing something to solve a situation might be this much, but you are adding so much anxiety on top of it. Right? You can look for a solution even by being in the present moment instead of this huge mountain of anxiety that you're giving yourself. Along with it, to give yourself the lie, the impression that actually this is what has to happen, right? The worry and anxiety and stress, this has to happen when I'm looking for a solution, when I have a problem that I need to solve. That is a false thing that we tell ourselves. I keep saying false thing instead of lie. That is the lie we keep telling ourselves. And this happens usually unconsciously. Like consciously you'll be like, no, I don't want to stress, of course I don't want to worry. But it's happening unconsciously. You feel like that's a very important part of the process. And when you do this practice of bringing yourself into the present moment, sometimes you have this big realization that, whoa, are you seriously telling me that all of that big mountain of stress and anxiety that I was putting on myself, that's actually not a part of the process, and that is actually slowing everything down, and I can genuinely just be here right now? Are you seriously telling me to focus on my breath in and breath out? Like, seriously? Is that what is really needed? Well, yeah, it is. And when you do this practice, sometimes it's gonna happen that if you have a habit of being too much in your mind, you're gonna get tempted to go into the mind again and again and again. And it's like, you're gonna be tempted by, oh, remember that fear that we were having? Oh, remember that thing that happened? Let's replay that. Remember that thing we were worrying about? Yeah, let's replay that. Remember this thing we were worried about in the future? Oh, what's gonna happen then? Like, you might get tempted here and there of going into those loops again, because that is what you're used to right now. And that is why it takes practice. So anytime you feel like you are being tempted by these loops, unnecessary loops that you're putting your mind through, just become aware. If you become aware, then you can bring yourself back. So become aware of it. And literally what I do is, when I realize this, I'm just like, shh. Like, shush. I just say, shh. And I tell that thing to melt down, to flow down, to those loops to just go flow down into Mother Earth or whatever. Because it's like suddenly that happens, but then when you realize it, you can just go bring yourself back. And yeah, this practice of bringing yourself to the present moment is not like I am in the present moment my entire day and things like that. That's why in the beginning of this video I said that, how many times in a day can I actually remind myself that this present moment is all there is, and how many times in a day can I really put my focus on this present moment and just observe myself that, oh, I'm going into the future again. Okay, shh, bring back. So no, I am not at all in the present moment like 24/7 or anything. I'm not Eckhart Tolle, but this is how you start your practice. Consciously bring your awareness to it multiple times on a day, and it keeps getting better and better. So if this message has resonated with you and you're wondering, well, it sounds really good, but how do I actually apply this? I have another video in which I'm sharing with you a lot more practices on what you can do to bring yourself in the present moment and in your body right now. So make sure that you watch that video. I will leave it either here or here so that you can actually start applying these things instead of just knowing them as facts. So I will leave the link to that video here or here. You must be seeing it right now. Watch that video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.